Oh, maybe now you can hear me because I had it set to the wrong microphone thing. Oh, wow, we have 40 people watching right now. Wow, 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 wow. All right. Yeah, I see some familiar faces in the chat here. So thank you guys all for stopping by. I'm muted. I'm good. Am I good now? Can you guys hear me now? I think I adjusted it. Should be okay. Let me know if you can hear what I'm saying. So, because that would be nice. Um, so we got Vaughn. Oh, there's Vaughn in the chat. What's up, Vaughn? So, yes, you guys can hear me, right? Make sure that's all, squared away before I just start talking. I'll plug in my phone while I wait for a confirmation. Oh, you're good. Perfect. My phone's about to die, so I'm going to plug that in. But anyway, how's everybody doing? We're doing a lightning storm live today. It's not going to be a crazy long one, but we're going to just talk and chat and kind of hang out from Japan World Heroes for a second as I try to find my chart. We're doing this from the hotel connected to the convention center. There's like this pool right here, so you might hear like splashing and stuff in the background because I'm just doing this from the pool as I charge my phone because it's about to die because I just got done filming part of the Gaim panel that just happened, which just ended about 10 minutes ago. And then I ran over into the dealer room to buy these Sentai and Ultraman toy books. And then I ran out here. So, yeah. So, yes, as Mala just pointed out, Japan World Heroes is in Burbank. That is where I am at. How's Gachard? I'm shaking the laptop. We're not talking about Gachard here, Vaughn. That's not the right show. Anyway, we do have Chris and Corey here, but they're both working on stuff. I don't know if they want to say hi.
Oh, hi.
But yeah, Corey's here drawing stuff.
Hello.
This is just sitting here. But yeah, so basically, today is a Saturday, so I want to make sure that there was some sort of lightning storm that came out this week, and I figured might as well do it live because this entire past week I was working ridiculously on the Lightning Collection 5 years gone in a flash video that I finally put together last night. Or got released last night after a very grueling process of uploading the video, which you guys will see in the vlog that will come out of this convention, because just like MorphiCon last year, I've been doing a whole vlog thing. Angel asks, how's the weather? Right now, it's good. There's a hurricane on the way for California. So tomorrow's con is uncertain if we're going to go to day 3. I think they're having day 3, but we might just sit it out. We've spent a lot of money, or I've spent a lot of money on stuff. And
a reasonable amount of money.
Corey spent a reasonable amount of money. I don't think Chris has even spent all that much, honestly. You buy like a couple things, but
you need to go back to the Microman booth.
Yes, you guys do. But yeah, like we've done the dealer haul to death at this point, essentially. So like, I don't really think I need to get anything else there, I shouldn't, but and stuff like that. But regardless, the video's out last night. It's performing very, very well. It's, I think, one of my best videos I think I've ever made. So thank you guys all so much. I tried to be in the chat while I was premiering last night. There was 100 people pretty much constantly watching it. I'm sitting there like holding my phone in McDonald's as I was ordering my dinner and everything after the convention because, it's 6 p.m. back home. I haven't changed my watch from Eastern time, and so it's 3 hours behind. It's all weird. But anyway, this is supposed to be Lightning Storm Live, episode 220, and I have never said the intro yet, and I've been live for 4 minutes. So hello, Power Rangers fans, and welcome. Oh, I didn't get it right. Hello, Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Lightning Storm, the series where lightning always strikes twice. We talk about everything that has happened in the past week for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. So if you have not seen on Twitter already, which I should probably have brought it up, but I can bring up this right here because this is a good prep for the video that you are watching right now. Which is why I released this earlier, or I asked them to release this earlier. So let me screen share really quickly as I pull this up. And there we go. So I wrote this article that went live a couple of hours ago. I had it set to go live at noon Eastern, which is when Lightning Storm would have gone up. Right, I think I scheduled that correctly. It's noon today. Yeah. Noon Eastern is when it went up. So I wrote this article for you guys to kind of give you the gist of this, what I would have said in a Lightning Storm. Yes, Haslab is developing wild new Power Rangers Lightning Collection weapons that you want to see. So I kind of, in the article, I sort of just wrote like a little, what is Haslab, if you're not familiar with it. Hasbro's crowdfunding thing. Every brand, Marvel, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and some of their games and stuff have had these campaigns to where it's in a very big, expensive item. I'm sure most of you know what Haslab is anyway, but those big, expensive items that would not work at retail or whatever it may be. And they make them a crowdfunding thing where they ask for a certain amount of pre-orders. If it hits that, they'll make the product. And then if it gets more pre-orders than that, they'll have the stretch goals to add on to the product, all that kind of stuff. So, but if they don't hit those goals, then the product will not go into production. And if they don't unlock the stretch goals, those items, those bonus features, whatever, will not be included with the items. So it's kind of a dicey thing. Like, for example, this one here, this was a good example of a failed Haslab. The Engine of Vengeance for Marvel Legends last year, they wanted 9,000. They only got about, a little under 5,000. This was when it was in its final 12 hours. Haslabs go for about 45 days on average from when they go live. In fact, we can take a look at it in a second. There's a current Haslab right now for the Ghost from the Vintage Collection for Star Wars from the Ahsoka series or Star Wars Rebels. It's an example of some stretch goals and this kind of thing. So from what I understand, there was a lot of ideas for Zap to possibly be part of the Haslab kind of thing. There was a lot of ideas for other Haslab ideas that were proposed. I'm not going to talk about those here. That's not really important to this. I kind of mentioned it here, there's some ideas that have been thrown around by the fandom, like Serpentera. People wanted a Serpentera. People wanted a Titanus. That kind of thing, which would make sense as like big, logical, bigger things. But from what I understand, and from what I've heard from a number of different sources over the last couple of weeks, I think I first started hearing about Haslab stuff back in like May or something. And with the crazy summer that it's been, I wanted to go ahead and talk about this here. Now, I will go ahead and just preface this. This is, as of right now, the final Lightning Collection leak that I have to offer to you at all. There is nothing left that I am just going to be waiting to share at a later date or whatever it may be. So I've kind of even heard, honestly, and I'll kind of go back to this, kind of even heard that part of the reason why the line is even going on a break in the first place is to help fund a Haslab. Kind of maybe the idea is that you kind of put the line on a bit of an ice, put a little bit of a break for a little bit. Maybe people can save up their funds and kind of spend that more towards a Haslab than like a typical year of Lightning Collection. I don't agree with that idea. I think that is a bad idea that will eventually or could very easily lead to the inevitable full-on cancellation of the line. So not a great idea. But in theory, I see the idea. Like I see where the logic comes in with that, but I still think that we'll see how that goes. Now, here's the deal. When is this going to launch? When is the stretch goals, or what is going to be the goal that they're going to ask for, right? I mean, I'll bring back the screen here. Let me go to this thing. So here's what I understand. So I know that there's usually like 45-day windows for Haslabs. The Ghost is running right now. I think the Ghost wraps up at the very beginning of September, or roughly around that time frame. And they've already teased as far back as like April a Marvel Legends Haslab for an Avengers thing because it's the whole 60th anniversary of the Avengers that they're celebrating with that whole kind of thing. So I'm presuming that that's going to be announced at PulseCon or be the Haslab that launches at PulseCon. And so with Power Rangers being confirmed to be at PulseCon, they could either launch it alongside the Avengers one and have two Haslabs, which I don't think would be a good idea. Or I think possibly Marvels can move from teaser to launch, and then we can get a teaser at PulseCon. I genuinely do not know these next two pieces of information, which is I don't know exactly when it's launching, and I don't know exactly how many backers that they're going to be. I don't even actually have an idea of the backer total that they're going to be asking for, unfortunately. I wish that I knew because I'm scared that this is going to actually fund or not. I personally don't have a lot of faith in it, mainly as a plane flies by. So that's kind of loud. I personally don't have a lot of faith in it actually backing. I wish and I hope that it can, But I think one of the things is that like the power weapons sold well. All three of them so far sold out during the last pulse sale, but they sold out because they were on sale. And I think one of the things is that price point on this was very, very, very key. Yes, Vaughn, I know I'm near an airport, but I'm surprised that it took this long for a plane to fly by. Um, I think one of the most important things when it comes to a Haslab thing, or with the power weapons, is the price of them. Like the power daggers were way overpriced, as I took a look at in my second video of my Power Month series that I'm doing right now. Very cool, very fun, but very overpriced. They should not have been the same price as the Lance whatsoever at all. And so that was always kind of the make or break thing, was how many backers are they going to ask for and what is the price going to be? Now, as I've currently been told, I have not yet been told like it is this exact market price. Like they're going to ask for this exact total, like this $99, right? But what I've heard is that they're aiming for somewhere between $450 and $455 for this, for what I believe is a combo set. That's another thing as well. I have not heard any necessary indication that they are doing like the axe and the bow separately. Some people, I know people have wanted, and if that is the case, that people wanted like an option to get them both separately or something like that, which I don't think they're going to do that. They don't really do anything like that. And as for the stretch goals, I feel like I was talking to Chris about this yesterday, about what the stretch goals could be. And I personally think, yeah, you could have just said that. You're literally sitting right there.
I thought it would be funnier to do it this way.
But like, we were talking about like what the stretch goals could be, and I feel like it's going to be very Transformer-y stretch goals. And what that means is basically the stretch goals are things that should just be coming with the product anyway, like the stands or like the pieces to combine it into the Power Blaster, or if it takes to Toku is here at all, power caps as we've been calling them, the little knobs that I hope that they would make to connect onto the ends of the lance and the daggers to make it actually look like the end of the cannon. Because right now they just have those connector ports to connect them together and twist them together, and so I'd like that to be cleaned up a little bit. So, and John, you bring up a perfect point. Yeah, the reason that they were not selling as well as that you're, as I was saying, is because there's no confirmation of them combining. Exactly. So I think one of the things is as well is that there is also like in the past they've done connections between mainline items and Haslabs with the with special guest star with the Ghostbusters one. They had the Proton Pack as a Haslab, and you could combine it with the wand for that was just a general retail release. And when they launched the Haslab, they reissued the wand. They like restocked it. So I feel like the same thing would happen with the power weapons that we already have. You would restock the sword and the lance and the daggers with confirmation that the bow and the axe are planned at least. And people in stretch goals, people are going to be like, yeah, throw in this figure or throw in like this or whatever. I literally do think expect the stretch goals to be, in my opinion, because I genuinely don't know what they are, to be things like, here's the stand for the axe, here's the stand for the bow, maybe like an arrow for the bow or the string for the bow, or maybe like a different arrow for the bow or something. Like there's many different things you could do as like good stretch goals or whatever, or like you're saying power caps or whatever, like for the ends. I feel like the stretch goals would be more just like functional things that should just come with it anyway, and not like actual new things that people would really, really want. But that's kind of the main thing of that. I guess I'll just really quick, just to kind of get a good reference, even though this is not Lightning Collection, obviously. But let me screen share this one, present, share screen. And yeah, so here we go, which it helps if you pull it up here. Here is the current one that's going on right now, the Haslab for the Vintage Collection Ghost is going. It's got its main goal. It has 18 days left, and it's unlocked, I believe, the first stretch goal, which was Ezra. I do believe that got unlocked.
I don't think they hit yet.
Have they? You can say what? They have not? Okay.
They're like 200 away from it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So they need
300.
They need 11,000 for Ezra, and they are currently at. Oh, okay, yeah. So they're gonna hit the first one, but like, yeah. So like that's kind of how Haslab works, just kind of a general idea. But yeah. So like I said, once again, just to recap, if you're kind of jumping in now or whatever, from what I understand, Haslab Power Axe, Power Bow, probably combo set, $450 to $455 ish price range. Don't know the actual final total. Don't know the backer number that they're going to ask for, and don't know when it's launching. But one of the reasons why I wanted to leak this information now and post and report on this information now is the fact, well, first of all, it's the last thing that I have in the pipeline to talk to you guys about at all. And second of all, since I think PulseCon is the earliest we could either get a launch for it or at least a teaser for it, and technically, possibly, if there is going to be something on August 28th, which we're going to talk about in 1 second, there's a potential possibility that maybe they'd even tease it as far as that. And I think that one of the main reasons why it would fail is people wouldn't have $450 ready to go within 45 days. So I'm going to give you more than 45 days. If you want a power axe and a power bow, I would start saving now roughly $450. If it ends up being a little bit more than that, at least you could already start saving now regardless, because we're probably at least a month, if not longer, away from it actually launching. So I think that's the main reason why I wanted to post this information as early as I did, just because, I don't want people to get blindsided by, hey, Hasbro wants you, if you want to finish the Power Blaster, you need $450 in the next 45 days. I understand that. That's not realistic for a lot of people. That's barely even realistic for me. And I'm definitely going to back it. If you think I promote this line more than Hasbro does, you haven't seen anything yet. I want this Haslab to succeed, and I know that it probably won't deep down inside, but I am going to promote the hell out of this thing. Just you wait. But we'll see how that goes. But that is that's all the main things I want to talk about. I did want to bring this up really quick before I wrap it up here, because as a plane goes by, perfect timing. All right, so I did want to just bring this up really quick because, yeah, as Chris just said, without saying it actually in person, airplane part 2. So the second part. So basically, as if this was a regular lightning storm, you'd have like multiple stories or whatever. That's obviously the big thing. But this was news that happened this week that I just wanted to talk about. So in my whole midst of depression, anxiety, Power Month stuff, and I didn't do a lightning storm in July or whatever, I never talked about Nerdzoic's report about the Lightning Collection Red Ranger and White Ranger helmets getting restocked, as well as the Dragon Dagger. And just to keep you guys in mind here, on Tuesday, August 29th, a new hint on the Entertainment Earth Drop Zone page went up that pretty much might as well just say Power Rangers at this point, because it literally says it's a prop replica. You need something new to wear, something maybe red, maybe something white, perhaps something else entirely. Find out what it is when you sign up for a reminder. So I'm pretty confident in saying that the restocks pre-orders of the White Ranger helmets, and especially, which is a really sought after one at this point, and the Red Ranger helmets will happen on August 29th. And since it does say perhaps something else entirely, I'm assuming that part of the hint could be for the Yellow Ranger helmet that they still haven't revealed yet. And One Man Sentai, thank you so much for the $4 for the $5 super chat. That's a great question. So if it does not reach its goal, you don't get charged. So basically, when you place a pre-order for a Haslab, they don't take any money out until the 45 days run out. And then at the end of the 45 days, they charge everybody that ordered it if it succeeds. If it doesn't succeed, you just never get charged. The order just gets canceled, I presume, because I've never backed a failed Haslab. I've only backed the G.I. Joe ones, which succeed in great numbers. So yeah, you don't get charged until the end of the 45 days. So and you can back it at any time. And also, if all the stretch goals get unlocked, it's just bonus stuff for everybody who backed it. You don't have to pay anymore. So you can back it on day 1, you can back it on day 45 and get the same thing, except for whenever they do those weird early bird things. They want you to sometimes back it early so people can get things faster or whatever. But still, regardless, even in that case, you can back it day 1, day 45, get the same thing, and you won't be charged until the end of the 45 days. And I agree, Megadon, 45 days is not enough for the Power Rangers fandom, and that's why I'm giving you guys more than 45. Astronaut, this absolutely will be the same box, because if you might have seen here, these other Tuesday ones, or there's another Tuesday one here, like this one right here, which I'm blocking with your comment. They've been reissuing a bunch of Star Wars Black Series helmets from years ago, and all of those are in the same boxes as 2020, 2019 even. So I presume that there's no reason to believe. And also, the helmets were always plastic-free packaging anyway, so that kind of just works out in their favor. Now, I will say Tuesday, August 29th is the day after Power Rangers Day. So, and they like to do fan streams on Tuesdays for Power Rangers. So I don't know if that means that I don't think we're going to get a fan stream. I personally think it's just going to be a pre-recorded video like G.I. Joe did for the Yojo June stuff. But I don't know if that's going to happen on August 29th, because it would make more sense to post that on August 28th, even if the pre-orders aren't until August 29th. So I don't know if August 29th is a day that we should expect only the pre-orders to happen, or a video and the pre-orders. We'll see. We'll see what happens when we get closer. Probably in the next week or so, we'll probably get something from Hasbro, since Hasbro has still not posted anything Power Rangers related in the month of August at all, except for the Cosmic Fury news on Friday, or this. No, that was Thursday. This past Thursday, with the intro and everything. So, but yeah, I'm pretty confident that that has to be the restock of the red and white helmets, and probably maybe the yellow one. Although also, perhaps something else entirely could also be for the Dragon Dagger restock that they're doing, and they could still hold off on yellow for some reason. So, but yeah, and then there's this one, I think these are both not Power Rangers. We go into September. Yeah, because like every Tuesday, they're doing Star Wars helmet drops as well. That's definitely a Star Wars one on the 14th, and then we don't have anything past that. We know that we'll get pre-orders on the 22nd of September because that's PulseCon Day, so that kind of thing. But yeah, can we back it up? Yeah. So all the places that Pulse is offered in, all of those like countries and stuff can back it, and then from there it just is up to like any country that doesn't have Pulse. It's up to just like third-party retailers and stuff like that to add to the total, which of course makes it tremendously more expensive. So like as Mala just pointed out, I was trying to remember. Do you remember if there's a Pulse Australia yet? I know they just expanded something out. Okay. But yeah. So anywhere that has Pulse, you can back it. I know like Pulse UK can back it. I know that like Pulse EU can back it because I've seen Haslabs be up on their sites. So yeah, anywhere that has a Pulse, you're good. I mean, it's still gonna be really expensive, but of course, as if anything. But that's Haslab. But and I agree on Cage Dotaki. Yeah, the Haslab cannot start around a Marvel one; it will be dead on arrival. I agree. I'm hoping personally that if the Avengers one is the next one that's announced, I'm hoping that goes up. I'm hoping that one will have its own time, and then 45 days after September 22nd, which I presume would be when the next Haslab launches on PulseCon Day. That would put that around Thanksgiving-ish time, beginning of the holidays, which could be a good time for a Power Rangers Haslab for people to get as like a gift, even though that wouldn't ship until like the end of 2024, but like somebody could pre-order it as a Christmas gift or something. Or it could be, a bad time because people need to spend money on Christmas stuff. It could really be a double-edged sword kind of thing there. So I don't know how that would be. And as Vaughn said, yes, it's crazy that the science future is in the hands of a Haslab, and I agree. Not the way that this should be going at all. I understand why the axe and the bow have to be Haslab. They're expensive. I still think you probably could have split the bow in half or something and charge a round. I would hope not as much as the sword. That's not, even though it's long, it's a big weapon. It doesn't do as much as the sword. And the axe, there was pretty much no way that wasn't going to be a Haslab somehow. But yeah, there's that. So looking at some other things here. Hey, we do got Power Ranger Tube in the chat. Few, yes, exactly. Yeah, the UK should be able to back it, so you should be good there. So this will be the final Lightning Collection item for a while. So I believe so. I believe it's the final new Lightning Collection item for a while, because 2024 will have the rest of the stuff that hasn't been announced yet that I talked about a couple weeks ago. You can find the clips of that. So like the yellow helmet, the Master Morpher, the Boom Studios Wave, that kind of thing. The Omegas that we still haven't got officially announced. Those kind of things. And then we're going to get those restocks of the helmets and stuff. And apparently we're supposed to get some other deluxe restocks. It's going to be a lot of restocks. I don't think there's going to be anything new necessarily in 2024, but there is that so much. So, and then answering this real quick. Oh, hey, we got the Legacy of Nerd. Shout out to you, your video the other day. Report you got your video out on this before I could get my video out on this, and you were talking about my report on it. So shout out to you, because I just did not have time to get that done with editing the other one. So, but yeah, they're gonna have to make those tiers perfect, and I agree, and they won't, because the tiers will just be things probably like the stand. I would love a giant effect piece for the Power Blaster or something. I think that would be cool, but I don't know if they would do that, because I'd make it really feel like a Lightning Collection thing, in my opinion, if it had a giant effect piece. But people don't like the effect pieces. Is there really a need for that? We got a $1 super chat from Union Warrior Thomas. Thank you very, very much. Oh, it's your birthday! Happy birthday, dude! Thank you. I hope you're having a good time. We'll miss your Lightning Storm. I will too. I'll miss Lightning Storm. I'll be making Lightning Aftermath though. I have one, I believe, next Saturday, if everything works out well, is going to be a Lightning Aftermath episode, and then I've filmed one already for September. So even though I've only made one episode of that series so far, that is coming back. But yeah. So let's see. Do we know when the Master Morpher releases? I think that's a PulseCon exclusive. So it wouldn't be out during PulseCon, but I think that would be a pre-order as a PulseCon exclusive during the convention. That's going to be about 100, I believe. So yeah. Stretch goals probably wouldn't be lances and you mean like better versions of the lance and the daggers themselves, because that would be expensive. Chris says with the power blaster going with civilian heads, probably not.
No?
I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think there's a point for that one. And
It's gotta go somewhere.
I can tell you one thing: it would definitely not come with a Jason civilian head.
That's true.
That's definitely true. Yeah, Haslab's for 14 to 18. Yeah, it's definitely more towards the adult collector audience. Because I think the cheapest Haslab is the Transformers one's the cheapest Haslabs. I think they are. And those were like 175. Yeah, 175. So, yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. So if you never got a White Ranger helmet or a Red Ranger helmet or a Dragon Dagger, you're gonna have a second chance. More than likely on August 29th is when that's gonna happen. So those will be pre-orders. And then I don't know when the Haslab's happening, but just to recap one last time, I don't know how many tiers that there or what the goals are going to be that they're going to ask for. I've heard it's going to be about $450 to $455 ish. That obviously could change. That could also not be final, but that's what I've been hearing is more reputable. Because originally I was hearing closer to 500, and then I had some other sources that were like, it's actually going to be probably around more the 450, 455 range, which when you get to that high up, it's $50. You know, it's still $50, but like at that point, it's like that's not that great of a difference, honestly, in some ways. And then I assume it's launching or will be teased by PulseCon time, if not even sometime this month, if they ever want to acknowledge any Power Ranger Lightning Collection products exist at all and announce anything, because they haven't done that yet. When Wilson Space Silver show up at Walgreens, exactly that kind of thing. So. All right, guys. Well, I think that is going to do it here. It's going to be just about a half hour as I wrap this up, which is perfect. I got a lot of stuff here to take a look at, and it's been a long day. It's been a long weekend so far. Got this storm coming in soon, so we're not sure how that day is going to go. But we have an actual storm coming in, lightning storm. Thank you, Corey, for contributing something at the end. So. Corey's drawing this amazing Go on Red print for him to sign.
We'll
looking,
see if I finish it.
It's looking really, really, really good so far.
Thank you.
So
it's happening.
Yes,
we're getting through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. I should have done the stream outside of Haslab HQ. Well, the Gaim panel, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go live at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And the Gaim panel got at like 2:50. And so I'm like running over because my laptop wasn't even with me. Because my laptop, CV on Twitter, if anybody's familiar with his art, he's been holding onto my bag all day very, very nicely, which had my laptop, so I didn't have to carry it around all day. So I had to go run to his booth. We didn't even say words. He just looked at me and he was talking to somebody and he just reached behind him, grabbed my bag and handed it to me. And then I ran out here. So it worked out perfectly. But yeah, so that's the end of it. Thank you guys for stopping by. We've had nearly 200 people watching, 150, 200 people the entire time in that ballpark. So that's awesome, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video from last night. Just to let you guys know, because obviously I didn't upload a Samurai video yesterday or a Super Samurai video today. Those will be out at a later date next month when I finish up Power Month stuff. If you want more information about that, check out my live stream from this past whatever day that was. I have no idea what day that was at this point. But there was a stream earlier this week where I talked about the state of the Power Month series on my channel. It might have been last Sunday, I want to say, possibly. So stay tuned for that. And yes, you guys will get a full haul of Japan World Heroes for sure. There'll be a full vlog. Oh, there's my sister in the chat. She never shows up. Stay safe. I guess my family's watching. I did tell them I was doing this. But yes, so thank you guys. If you guys want to see some clips from Japan World Heroes, they're up on my Twitter currently, but they'll be in the full vlog, which will be coming out in September. And then also, just for reference, the Megaforce video is ready to go for tomorrow. The Super Mega Force video is almost done. The Dino Charger video is almost done, and the Dino Supercharger video is ready to go for Wednesday. So the Power Month videos are continuing for the rest of the month. I shouldn't miss a day between now and Cosmic Fury on the 30th. So perfect. We did it in that capacity. So that's it. That's going to do it for this. Yeah, you guys have anything you guys want to say to wrap it up?
Not for me, Chris.
And I don't know what we're going to do now, but we're just going to keep enjoying the con and chilling. And I'm tired.
We're going to have dinner at an undisclosed location.
We're going to have dinner at some point where we will eat food. Anyway, yeah, so that's going to do it. So, of course, until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LightningFigPR. And, of course, let me know down in the comments below anything that you guys want to say about these things. What do you think of the price of the Haslab? Are you going to start saving now? Would you want a different Haslab? Anything about it, I want to read it. And that's going to do it. So thank you all for watching. Of course, until next time, I'll see you all in Lightning Storm. This here's your lightning always strikes twice. Thank you, guys. Have a good rest of your weekend.